I am very disappointed, I have to say this, that nobody is demanding that Omtata releases the pictures of people who are in the office when Kibet went to his office. Nobody has demanded, and he has not produced, videos of Kibet getting into the office and leaving the office. And who was with him in the elevator, if there was an elevator, or the stairwells, up to the exit. And the CCTV cameras at the exit. Because we have been given some still picture of a vehicle standing outside, very far. But we are told that vehicle was stationary, that the people that came in it stayed there, that it was on. But we are not being shown anywhere else. That is suspicious. I want to start by stating something that some of us have been saying for some time, but I think it's not yet, it's not been absorbed fully yet. Number one, the Constitution of Kenya does not give the government any rights. I think a lot of people don't understand that the government does not have rights in the Constitution. The government only has responsibilities. So there are no rights. There is no right that Ruto or any of these ministers or principal secretaries or any of these people that are looting and terrorizing Kenyans can say the Constitution vests on them. There is none. They don't have rights under the Constitution. What they have are responsibilities and duties to the people. The only people with rights are ordinary Kenyans, the citizens, the civilians, the ones that do not hold public office. You don't have a duty to the government. You don't owe the government any duty at all. You don't owe them respect, and the Constitution does not say that you should respect them. You don't owe them obedience. You don't owe them civility. You don't owe them humility. You don't owe them obedience or loyalty. That is the language of dictatorship. This thing about the people must respect the leaders. Such duty and responsibility on the people does not exist in the Constitution. But the people have a right and rights. The right to freedom of expression is robust in the Constitution. The right to assembly, the right to association, the right to a free conscience, the right to be able to exercise your sovereignty by deciding who you would donate it to for a period of time if they act in accordance with your wishes. Those are rights you have. The right to security, the right to housing, the right to food, the right to be able to move around, leave Kenya and come back to Kenya anytime you want, the right to services, the right to food. These are rights that all Kenyans have under the Constitution. The right to be secure and safe from harassment, from abduction, from illegal detention, from imprisonment, illegal imprisonment. And the reason why we say legal is that you can only be detained if you've been taken to court within 24 hours and the court orders that you be detained for a period of time, not forever, but within 24 hours. And that you have to be arrested in broad daylight, or if it is at night, they have to demonstrate why they have to arrest you at night, but they arrest you with police officers in uniform who have orders or summons that you appear, and they have orders from the court that they search your residence or office if they have such orders from the court, not fake ones. So those are things that we have to underline. People, citizens must understand that their rights are not negotiable. The only thing citizens are not supposed to do: one, break the law; two, destroy property or kill somebody or assault somebody, or do things that are prescribed within the law or the constitution. So it is not up to Ruto to create laws or criminal acts that citizens are not supposed to do. Number two, in a situation where we are dealing, can you hear me?
Very well, Dr. Ari.
In a situation where we are dealing with abductions, and abductions are simply illegal arrests, illegal kidnappings, somebody seizing you without legal authority. Most of these people that are seizing citizens don't wear uniform, don't identify themselves, don't have legal orders from the courts to effect an arrest, do not have probable and reasonable grounds to suspect that anyone has committed a crime, and are not taking any of the people that they have kidnapped to public institutions such as a police station, for example, and a court of law. So when such egregious acts or atrocities are committed against the people, abduction, for example, there is no neutrality vis-a-vis the act. One cannot say, I don't support or oppose what is happening. The moment you say that you are neutral in the face of an abduction or abductions, you are supporting abductions. You are supporting the criminals that are perpetrating abductions. So there is no neutrality. I've had many Githeri media and other reporters say, my job is to be neutral. My job is to be objective. There is no objectivity and neutrality when you're dealing with injustice. There is none. You have to support and you have to side with the victim of injustice. So there is no neutrality. Anybody who tells you they're neutral, they are supporting the regime. 3, I wanted to talk about things that we can do as responsible citizens to avoid, to stop, to prevent, and to address abductions as much as we can. Those who grew up and matured and fought the one-party dictatorship under Moi, like me, we learned, and it came as second nature, that whenever you go to any place, including your own home, you have to scan the area. You do a quick scan, whether it is a restaurant, whether it is an office, whether it is a meeting, whether it is a conference, you must scan the room. You cannot go to these places and believe that you are safe. So the first thing you do, you are always unsafe, and always consider that you are unsafe everywhere you are. So that you are only going to relax the moment you've scanned the area and more or less established that everything is okay, to the best of your ability, number one. Number two, consider everybody around you a suspect until you rule them out. And that is everyone except yourself. Suspect everyone. Everyone around you must be considered a suspect to be an agent of the state. You cannot assume that because you're going to a meeting in a politician's home or office or public place, that you are safe. All the politicians in Kenya are protected by government agents. And all these government agents are NIS or members of the regime that are there to oppress you. So anytime you see anybody with a gun, that's an enemy right there. I mean, these people are not there to protect you. These people are there to protect the state. These guys are paid by the state. So suspect all of them. That is the best way to deal with it. Number 3, take pictures of everyone around you. Because when you go missing, this is the only way that we will, or people will be able to start looking for you by questioning the people around you, the ones that you took pictures with. I am very disappointed, I have to say this, that nobody is demanding that Omtata releases the pictures of people who are in the office when Kibet went to his office. Nobody has demanded, and he has not produced videos of Kibet getting into the office and leaving the office. And who was with him in the elevator, if there was an elevator, or the stairwells, up to the exit. And the CCTV cameras at the exit. Because we have been given some still picture of a vehicle standing outside, very far. But we are told that vehicle was stationary, that the people that came in it stayed there, that it was on. But we are not being shown anywhere else. That is suspicious. And we must be able to call out everyone, including me. If I met with anybody who disappeared, you have to call me to account. You have to demand that I explain what steps I took to protect that person if I am free and the person has been abducted. So nobody is above reproach. Nobody must be above being questioned. Because to allow us to trust anybody blindly is to continue this ship mentality that has kept us in bondage since 1895 when the British landed and colonized us. Up to now, we have always trusted people in authority. Anybody with public office we think is a demigod. These are traits of slaves. And as long as we maintain them, we will never be free. So demand these things. Number 5, once you take videos and you take pictures, interrogate each one of the people in the videos and the pictures. Because we are many and we know each other, we will be able to isolate and identify people who are working actively with the NIS, for example, with the DCI, or informers, or agents, or collaborators, or facilitators, or double agents. This is very important because we are 56 million people and the state agents cannot be more than 100,000. So there are very few. This idea, I had some propaganda that there is one NIS in every 5 group of people is nonsense. There are not that many. This is just a scarecrow. There are not that many. Yes, they are there, and they try to infiltrate, and they try to surveil and monitor and pass information, and they try to cause fear by spreading the propaganda that they're everywhere. But they are not everywhere. So we are able to identify them, isolate them, expose them, and be able to stop a lot of these abductions. Finally, on the abductions, on how to stop, prevent, and deal with it. I think we are failing each other by running away from abductors. You know, you have a group of 3 people or 2 people or 4 people. We see them abducting someone on the side of the street, and we either just videotape and watch and let them get away. The best thing to do is to call out for each other, for people to come and surround them and disarm them and tie them up. I wouldn't even leave out, beat them up. There is no reason why you are not beating up abductors. These are criminals, these are killers, these are murderers, these are torturers. They don't deserve to be left alone. So we must do this. And as we approach tomorrow, we have to identify places that we will occupy. Of course, at the top of the list, if we are enough in numbers, is State House. Nobody should tell you that you cannot go to State House because this is a public institution. This is a public building. And that is the center of power. That is the only way to remove Ruto from power. The NIS headquarters is open game. Nyati House could be one of the places that these people are torturing the abductees. Because Nyati House, before the NIS moved to Nyayo House and then later on to where it is along Kiambu Road, used to be headquartered at Nyati House. And that building is still there in the CBD. Arambi Avenue, Safaricom headquarters, because I have had people say consistently that Safaricom has been used by the state to monitor critics and to give signals where they are so that they can be abducted. If we are able to storm these places and occupy them and disrupt and stop all the activities there and take them over, the government will fall. Will fall more easily than even going to parliament buildings. Because the MPs there, when you get the MPs, to what end? They don't wield any power. Yes, they pass bad laws, and yes, they are fortifying the state. But at the end of the day, these tumbocrats, probably you are better off closing them up or taking over their homes because that's their underbelly, rather than even heading to parliament. So for now, I end there. But I am saying let us target symbols of the state. Yes, I agree with Dr. Milton. Like I said the previous time I was here, let us call Ruto Ruto. He's not president. Let us harass him on Twitter, on social media. Let us call him names. Let us reduce him to a normal, pathetic criminal. Let us reduce the veneer of authority and institutional power to nothing. Let him feel like he's rubbish. Let him run away from social media the way Uhuru did. This is part of the way to regain power as a citizenry and be able to remove an illegitimate person occupying public office. Anybody telling you, oh, don't post pictures of Ruto in a coffin. No, those people are sympathizing with Ruto. There is nothing wrong with satirizing him in a coffin. There is nothing wrong depicting him as a corpse, because in our mind he's a corpse, he's not a president. Right? Ruto is dead as far as Kenyans are concerned. And that is metaphorical. You are allowed to do that. So let nobody restrain you, tie your hands with some dubious morality, claiming that, oh, it is wrong to do that. Why is it wrong to do that? Ruto is killing citizens. Ruto is torturing people. Why is it wrong to kill Ruto in our brains and consider him dead? So we must have an empowering language, artistically, creatively, and robustly everywhere. Thank you very much, everyone.